My name is Janet Bailey, and I am a small animal veterinarian. I practice internal medicine, and I have a lot of pets, and lots of pets that have some special needs. I have two dogs. This is Brock, who lost his hind leg after a fracture that wouldn't heal. And I have Claude, who was born with a birth defect, so his front left leg never developed properly. I also have a cat who had an injury to the nerves in her left front leg, and her leg has been amputated.
How did you feel when you had your pets with amputations?
The first pet that I had with an amputation was a dog. She was a Catahoula like Brock, and she had bone cancer and in her front leg. And when dogs walk, they carry 60% of their body weight on their front legs, and so it's much harder for them to lose a front leg. When it's a back leg, it's pretty easy for them to distribute that weight, but I was very anxious about having an older dog who's also a big dog not having that front leg to walk on, and how that would affect her lifestyle, because she was a very active dog. And when we did the surgery, she got up and walked that night. The day after the surgery, she walked out and jumped up into my car, and I have a wonderful video that I treasure of her and Adam, the poodle, running in the nearby park 3 weeks after she had her amputation. And so all of my stress about her not being able to function without that leg, she totally alleviated that stress by showing me how comfortable she was. And so I was much less stressed about it when I had to amputate Brock's leg and the kitten. So.
And then I guess, what tasks do the animals struggle with compared to animals that don't have amputations?
The biggest, it depends on where it is. In terms of Brock, with his hind leg being gone, he does fine jumping into a vehicle, but there will be times where he takes off running, and if he wants to make a corner, he can't make the corner, and then his foot will slip out from under him and he'll scoot on his bottom for a little bit. The dogs are really active and playful, and so when they get rowdying around and are like tussling with each other, Brock will often get knocked down, and so he just doesn't have the ability to keep himself as upright as the other dogs do. And when it's a hind leg, the thing that you worry about is all the stress of jumping and walking going on that specific leg. So that can be a challenge for them.
How has this affected you as an owner, or does it affect you?
It makes me very empathetic to the needs of special pets, and it also helps me advise owners when they are struggling with trying to make a decision about what to do with their pet.
What changes have you seen in your pet's behavior?
The one thing that I noticed with Brock, because he is one of the most dominant dogs in the house, is that he sort of holds his position on the couch. And so the other dogs will be playing quite a lot, but Brock will stay on the couch and interact with the dogs that are on the floor. So, because then that way he doesn't get knocked down. So he uses that for balance.
Do you have anything else you would like to say?
I think, there used to be so few options for dogs and cats when they had an injury to a limb. It was let it heal broken, which is not a good option because that can be painful long term. And then they have a limb that they have to carry around that they can't use. There are times when they could potentially lose part of their limb and then have a prosthesis. So, for example, if they injured their foot, but the rest of the leg was fine, now they can do prosthesis that will help them maintain their mobility without losing the entire limb. It also reinforces the fact, there's all veterinarians kind of laugh and say every pet is born with an extra leg, and so it makes me a lot less concerned about removing a leg from a pet that needs to have that done.
Hi, I'm Tara Ann Weiler. I've been a boarded surgeon since 2003, and I've been here since 2003, so I've been here for a long time.
How do you decide when an animal needs an amputation?
There is a lot that goes into it. The main reason we do amputations, and I can say that there are people that jump to it right away. They offer it for broken legs and things like that. I like it as like a last resort because you can't undo it.
Because of cancer, because it's got a fracture you can't fix, something of that sort, nerve damage, but pain management's the main reason that I would recommend it.
What is your opinion of 3D printed prosthesis?
I think it's amazing. I think I would love to see it in person. I think that the
main reason people don't choose prosthetics is just the availability and cost of them. Plus there's situations where if the problem is high, like at the shoulder, there's no way to make a prosthetic other than ones that go on the lower part of the limb. And maybe newer technologies would change that, because right now there is no other option.
What are your thoughts on prosthesis for animals?
They're wonderful. Dogs and cats are very light, and they can get around pretty easily on 3 legs. But larger animals, cattle, horses, cannot. They need that weight-bearing limb, and so the prosthesis that they have developed now, some that can be implanted permanently, others that can be strapped on, allow animals to live, a rich, full, longer life than they would have otherwise when it's just one limb that needs to be addressed. They don't have to be put to sleep because they can't get around on that. So it's a great opportunity to help animals when they've had an injury.